You're tuned in to 88.5 FM, where the valley comes alive.
Welcome to 88.5 FM. You're with Albie, Brucey and Donnie in the sheds on 88.5 FM VCA. Welcome, guys. I'm Albie.
G'day, this is Brucey.
And Donnie, we've got a massive show. How are we going to squeeze it all into 2 hours, mate?
I have no idea. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go through how you can contact us. So first we've got Twitter, at the sheds 88.5. Facebook, In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donnie. So if you'd like to get in touch with us whilst we're on the air at the moment, that's the best ways to go about it. Also, we are on Radio VCA 88.5, and you can find that on the website or on Facebook, Radio VCA 88.5 FM. So let's start. We're basically here to talk about the local sport in the area. This is our first show, so you're going to have to bear with us. But we'll get straight into it. We're going to talk about the Ellenbrook Eels first up. Wonderful season, 4 teams through to finals, and actually 5 teams. We got told earlier that the Masters are playing finals as well, so fantastic effort.
Have they got finals?
Well, they're playing their final game. They haven't lost one in apparently 5 years, so it's a cracking effort. I'll pay finals for that one. So, for those that don't know, the Ellenbrook Eels, the reserves, the league and the Colts had their elimination finals on the weekend. We'll start with the league side, because we're going to get into the Rezzies a bit later on in the show. So, the league, unfortunately, went down to Dianella Morley. It was a good game. I actually went to it, 97-71. Really competitive game all day. Unfortunately, in the last kind of 5-10 minutes, Dianella went bang and kicked about 5 goals just to kind of put it out of reach.
The scoreline doesn't really reflect the way the game went. I was following your updates on our Facebook page, mate, and I got a little bit excited myself at when you sent through the score at 3/4 time. I thought we were every chance of coming over the top and beating the Raiders, but wasn't meant to be, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where was the game played? Was that at a neutral venue, or was that out at home?
No, it was at the new home ground. It was, but all 3 games were played there. It was a good turnout, actually. It was a lot of people did comment on how many people were there, which was fantastic. It was disappointing to hear a few of the Ellenbrook supporters kind of say, "Not again, not another year," because this is again They've had cracking season and just unfortunately fell short of going up that level to C2, which seems to just keep eluding them each season.
It's just one game away from it again, and
yes, the league team does have a bit of a history of grand finals of either making them and then not having the best of games. So we could probably start to we may have to start going back through our history there and see if there's a curse or something we need to try and have a look at a little bit of the...
You think we've got a Kennett curse, do we? and the Ellenbrook Kennett curse.
Yeah.
So.
Well, seriously, where would we be now?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Dianella Morley, I mean, it's a team that we beat in the first week of the final, so it wasn't like it was an obstacle that was impossible to overcome. They got over him that first week and then lost to Sneezer, who Dianella Morley will now play in the grand final.
Yeah. No, and that's going to be a good game as well. And as much as I hate to mention him, David Van Rolt is the coach of that side, who is a former Ellenbrook Eel, and we will do a nice shout out to his daughter Josie, who designed our logo.
Past legend of the football club, and
and now hated by all. So.
But the logo's fantastic.
Thanks, Josie.
Jump on all our social medias and have a look at it. She did a great job.
Yeah, wonderful job. So, look, we got a quick rundown from the club, and the best player was Logan Ashby, and he won the Founders Medal last year, so obviously wrapped up another great season. And James Kendall kicked 5 goals, so he wasn't too shy in front of goal. I hope a few of the AFL teams can maybe take a leaf out of his book this weekend and kick us straight. So we'll move on to the Colts. they unfortunately went down to the Jandakot Jets, 87-42. Again, they've had a great season. Paul Saylor is their coach, and just to show what type of person Paul is, he also came runner-up in the association medal for the E3. So he's coached and played in the E3 at the same time. He's a cracking player and obviously a really good coach as well.
Starts a crack in the vets every now and again, from what I remember as well. So
yeah. Oh, look, he's
does it on a Saturday and then backs it up on a Sunday with the Veterans League. So
yeah, look, I did watch him. I got the honour of playing against him a few weeks ago. I won't say I played too well against him. He turned us inside out. Yeah. I watched his number for most of the day. I think like most of us out there, and he's still turning young guys inside out. But look, it's promising for Ellenbrook. The young guys, let's be honest, the Colts is probably where you want to have your most success, and the fact that they've made the finals, their Resi's league, and even the thirds did make the finals, unfortunately bowed out a bit earlier than everyone else, but 4 teams in the finals, you can't really be too upset with that. So the reserves did get the win. They had a great day, and they'll be going on to play in the grand final this week, which we will.
They got.
Sorry, I have got that written down. They've got Piara Waters,
Yeah.
who unfortunately is their only blemish for this season so far was a loss to Piara Waters. So it does make it a bit interesting. They only lost 1 game for the season.
That was their first week of finals. So they went through the regular season unbeaten, and first week of finals went down to Piara Waters, and hopefully they can turn it around on them in the rematch, in the one that counts at the end of the day. That's
it.
Finished first. We'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But
yeah, that's it. So the best players for that one was Carl Bishop, Jordan Shepherd, Aaron Power, and Patrick Casey kicked the most goals. So congratulations to those boys having obviously a really good season. So we're going to move on to, before we move on to the rugby, we're just going to make mention of Swan Valley Football Club had their association best and fairest on the weekend. So I've got the results here. So the league best and fairest went to Reece Mabs. Now, Reece has won his 4th best and fairest for the club, and he's 23 years old. He's second in the league's history. In the club's history of winning the most medals. So I think he's on his way to top that record. Runner up was Kurt Tanner, and Kurt came runner up last season. So fair effort to him as well to back up last season. The reserves was Matthew Johnson and Corey Verco was the runner up. The thirds team was Corey Rutherford, who's the captain, and Chris DeLacy. I've played for the thirds a few games this year, and Corey is a very worthy winner and hard. He keeps trying to sneak forward, but he needs to stay in defence because that's where he plays his best football. And the Colts was Matt Brearley, and the runner-up was Jack Howard. 2 special mentions. One goes out to Ray Marsh, who hung up the boots this season. Fantastic player. He was still turning 19-year-olds inside out. Even though he's in his 40s, he's played who knows how many games in excess of 400. 450 games. He's going to be missed out in the footy field, but he will be coming into coach. So he won the Craig Hall Award. And Chris Rex, and I'm really sorry if I do pronounce this incorrectly, but he took out the Santos Caratazzolo Award, which is for the most courageous player. And from what a few of the boys were saying, that's the one that you really want to win. So fantastic wrap up for the boys out at the Valley, and we'll get stuck into it next season.
Is he going to try play at a higher level next year and play veterans?
Who's that? Marshy?
Yeah.
No, he's going to be coaching next season, allegedly, is what I've heard. He'll be trying to coach in the reserve side. So it would be a great benefit to the reserves if he coaches. And I dare say he'll be more comebacks than John Farnham, and we'll see him back out in the field a few times. I've seen a few.
The boots have been retired, but they're just not in storage.
Yeah, I think the boots were hung up for all of about 30 minutes, and then the next week he might have slipped them back on, but we'll leave that where it is.
Retired during the off season and then come back round one. You reckon?
Pre-season, around, gets a little bit.
You don't want to get involved pre-season. That's too hard.
That's where the veterans comes in. You can just sort of pre-season involves a little bit more amber.
All right, well, let's move on to the Rabbitohs, the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, and they unfortunately had a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, it's they had the elimination final. So first time the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs have ever had seniors in the NRL WA competition. They played in the third grade, or the Val Murphy Trophy. Made it through to the finals, which is a fantastic effort for a club that's first year ever in senior footy. We used a lot of players. The club's got a lot of fly in, fly out players. So 46 players used throughout the course of the season. So that's a fair amount for a sport where you only have 13 on the field at any one time. But we were down 20 points to 10, and the Joondalup Giants had a player sent off the field, so it gave us a bit of an advantage, and all of a sudden we got a bit of wind in our sails and started fighting our way back into the game, and scored a try next to the sticks to make it 20 points to 18, and kick a goal from next to the post, and unfortunately he shanked it. He didn't strike it at all well and missed it, and we bowed out 20 to 18. So it was a tough way to go out, but still been a very successful season.
How long's the club been going for? Because, as I said to these guys before, the oval gets packed out down there quite regularly, but it seems to be a lot of junior stuff. So from the senior team, how long have they been?
Yeah, so senior teams
an entity as such.
First time the senior team's been in, so 2017 is the first year, but the club's only been around itself since 2014. And
that's a great effort to get it up from that to where it is now.
Yeah,
as far as the numbers that we see down at the local Ellenbrook Oval.
I mean, to put it into perspective, I suppose, and you look at the Facebook pages. The Ellenbrook Eels Facebook page has 2,600 followers on the Facebook page, compared to the Ellenbrook Eels, which is a much more established club, has about 500 or 600. So,
46 senior players.
Yeah,
where were we at? We struggled to get our first senior team. When I say we, I'm talking about Ellenbrook Eels in our inception.
Our first season, we were wearing Western Bulldogs jerseys for the first 2-3 games.
So, to have 46 senior players on your list, that's a great effort.
Yeah, and to almost make it to a grand final in your first season is just a cracking effort. We
the Eels also did that as well.
We won't talk about the results. We won't talk about the results of that game.
We didn't go 2 points,
a few players to give a bit of a shout out to. So Darcy Kahui played more games than anybody else. 16 appearances throughout the season. Patrick Taualoa was the top try scorer. He scored 9 tries in 13 games. So he had a really good year as well.
Fair effort.
Yeah, so I suppose three home games. So I suppose the way that it worked with the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs, we played in the third grade competition, and we were basically a merged entity with the Kalamunda Bulldogs, who played in the top grade, and the Willagee Bears played in reserve grade. So that meant that we didn't get a lot of home games, so 3 home games. And I think one thing that we'd like to turn around next season is maybe to have a better record at home. We played 3 games at home, we lost 2 of them. So, we'd like to turn that around next year. Overall, 10 wins, 7 losses over the course of the season. Had some good wins during the course of the year. Beat the North Beach Sea Eagles, who were the defending premiers in the competition. Beat them 36-6 in round 12. So that was a good effort. One of the performances at home was a 4-0 loss to the Joondalup Giants, which was a pretty dour sort of affair. It was sort of a bit of to and fro, went end to end, but nobody could quite get across the stripe. Had a big weekend at home as well. So while the Ellenbrook Eels had hosted the prelims for that the C3 competition, the Rabbitohs hosted the junior prelims as well, and some of our sides in the juniors did really well. Under 11s already in the grand final, but on the day of the prelim, the girls' league tag beat Alkimos 14-6 to make the grand final. The under 14s, they beat Fremantle 34-12 to make it through to the grand final at Dorrien Gardens this weekend. Unfortunately, the under 13s got fairly well belted by Rockingham, but pretty good performance. And just finally, tonight is actually the junior presentation night for the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs as well. So not for the Rabbitohs, for the whole league. And for the Rabbitohs, some players nominated for the awards in each of the age groups. The under 11s legend Hawaii, Under 12s, Thomas Crofts. Under 13s, Zach Zammit.